Me imagine. So teacher training and nursing training allowance. It's high time I was a year board in your term.
Yeah, my it
doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so, I think that I never fuel some of this decision has to do with how we've politicized some of these things, because what national bisa was a nyansa ben a womb. Say Akraba nursing training college, Akraba teacher training college. Yes, there are financial difficulties in for, but on mine be masika free na fa wie o wi aba betina fie for 5-6 years. Abra onya jumanya. If any rational person be there is no point to rationalize this particular situation in any context. But you see, we've politicized the whole thing to the extent say ukoyi free the political capital na we general so what the year we know it become another way you be hippie on your head. And sometimes this is a government that has taken over first time, and you need to put yourself somewhere to be able to know said the neighbor. So in the subsequent years ahead, you know, because President Mahama is one person who took a bold decision, say he will make sure that those monies, you know, will go into building infrastructure, making sure that hospitals are available. So go for student loan. Would you know we school now? Jobs will be available, because it doesn't make sense. I'll pay. Me allowance and me the school no better 4 years, 5 years. For instance, nursing. Nursing is something it's like an apprenticeship kind of something. The more you practice, you know, the more you become efficient. We nursing training college now kwatena fee for 3-4 good years. Trust me, we be fit those practical way, you know, because ajumani nyina is about it's a practical thing that we only need to know the rationale behind what you're doing. You understand? And in the they become very blunt and ineffective. So I think it's one thing that we need to look at. And then 24-hour economy. I've listened to a lot of conversation around it. It's good, sir. Now the whole policy will go through a certain implementation phase. But yeah, I'm saying, sir, you see, to run an economy, I bet me a grow no. You need to go full gear industrialization. I've listened to a lot of people who say teachers bachelor they are double, nurses bachelor no. In building economy, teachers, nurses, policemen, military, they don't build economy. They provide third person services, because teacher and the human say equip the workforce with knowledge and skills. Nursing in the human say obe make sure say the workforce no are healthy. Police in Najumana say the workforce no will be protected, maximum security will be provided. That is the job that they do. So the workforce, you know, what do? They go full industry, they work, they make sure say they turn the economy. So if we are going to do 24-hour economy, I think the full concentration should be on industrialization 24/7. Because if you go to America and other places, our economy they run it because they have industries that are running 24/7. Because when you run this industry, what is automatically you are going to cut down import.
Okay.
Because for instance, some of these factories are making when they're running 24, people are having job to do. You are cutting down exporting and so forth. So I think there is something that we need to set down, plan with properly. Now, enquire say, oh, yes, a graphic corporation be running 24 hours. Because I want to say, what is the graphic area 24 hours? What I say. So I think that we need to go full industrial gear. Now you're making sure, say, these industries, new companies now as a coming on stream, no. So you have one district, one factory kind of way now. Akufo-Addo be a scam, no. Those are things that we need to identify some of the areas. For instance, if you go to a command dining as for beer him said tomato then as for and so you go identify that particular enclave, you put the tomato factory. Make sure say all tomato from Techima and Tebubu, that area can tampon will go to that particular place. And not that you create a viable market. You can even export, make money. You understand? So in the factory, you have people running shift 24 hours. And they have full industrial GIA, and those are the things that will turn the economy around. And yes, a teacher need be pona, teacher need be quachadi. We are, no, it doesn't build. No, it doesn't. No, it will impact, but it doesn't build the economy. We are talking about how a bit me a put your home and now I say at me generating economic way. Those are the area poultry farming as a forum. We can run some of these things, and I think that those are areas implementation phase in the we need to look at, and those trivial way now, man for Canada. I'm not sure that particular thing cannot be part of this whole thing. And now again, so we budget here ya kan ho asemi nyina we na se for ya ade ba ko a na Ghana ni edi enya ye hopelessness ne despair amidst of all that has happened in this particular country. The promises, everything has been made. Said they not brasolo esika na sem say you can't budget a projection. So projection, there are two options. Either you actualize it or you can't. So some of these things, will depend on the kind of commitment that government will make in ensuring some of the, because revenue penny a bit number say benya broso a bit number say yenya expenditure bit number say be spend abroso. So it depends on how our government bit me to the name. But I think we need to immerse ourselves in a situation like who said the average Ghanaian is hopeless, the average Ghanaian is desperate, the average Ghanaian no jobless. A man for a year the economic space na nkasa no aye some style, for instance, and yet now no president buy or try say DDEPs na se for no otua kama man for. Are you aware say in the next 4 years government is supposed to pay 150 billion in debt restructuring to domestic domestic bond holders in Kwao. External income is around $8 billion I see it here. So it sure said the economy now stretch it to its largest limiter. We need to we be say hasting slowly. Now you make your choices in a very rational context. Sebeya enema emu mfaso na Ghana for betimi hold this whole government in another particular trust. But my culture say the last leg Ghana democracy ejina so this Mahama administration. Well, it got to a point people were even yearning for military coup d'etat and as for them. There are others who say, okay, let's give this thing a long shot. And all had a massive and a resounding victory that President Mahama got now. It showed the level of trust among our repose. So this government cannot afford to fail people. So we must do everything to ensure that the last leg Ghana's democracy is standing on will survive, so that people will have trust in institution democracy once again. And yes, sir, in the sub-region, on the our neighbors in go cool way. And look at the way they have been celebrated. Unfortunately for Mena Ghana Hayati, the military we have, and yet it's military, they are all appendages of political parties in as a forum. They are there at the behest of their political masters. And do kofa obise or your military na omedi or minus or mine now because they are all politicians in as a forum. The discipline that very often you see in the military or Traore and you will not find it in the Ghanaian military because they are all politicians. And we need to tread cautiously and make sure we rebuild trust, we inspire confidence, and make sure Ghana 4 will be part of this. And in doing this, it should also serve the interest of Ghana 4, because Abayin serve Ghana 4 interest, then there is no sense having the government. You understand? So I think doing all these things are very a tricky thing. One way you'll be overwhelmed by power. Oh, you're not to me, and I may catch you with a month for jubilate, a mobile position. They are asking whether the place is juicy or not. Sanka, they say you're juicy and you're juicy. What is your problem? But it's now the mindset behind it. So I think the president needs to assert authority and make sure he's fully in charge. Will be messy up how you deal with the person drastically, just to ensure Ghana 4 will have hope. No, my buying here, but you can't mess up because I catch your nipa. So we jay nipa. Adi obeye no pa ma yesu mfa na bag nkotena is legon no bia ncheke no obeda so ne ma obeye ne be onwan. That is who we are. And we need to make sure that we hold people in check, and in doing so the government should make that a priority and make sure other prosecutorial agencies and institutions are able to work to full function. Cecilia Dapa issue na court. What is Sikano Washa say so? So what it is so near there? Ghana is serious nanka ye kase yanka sama.
I me bon person by next week ni be share na bia na fa ye full.
We dey ya kan ho asem.
Yeah, we discuss it proper. Yes. So 2 minutes na yanko.
Ghana for mododo na le to awon and William
Matuma land.
Anametia that one ewo ka toma ye
so no be come
abranti oro so kro ba ye onkasa e be ko akopam na fi
Makio Kion
Kion mi avenu ya be ko akopam onkasa enchi e be
obekasa to boys obekasa obabo ejuma to boys
now yatuma aban ni bu me kyerɛ na ɛnneɛma ɛkɔ so
yeah
ora mama o ntumi mo be ya wo Ghana yeah so what important mo so bi kwa kura kwa yi ni makotu galamsey was said here
exactly
there was citizen arrest ana as NDC mamu nyento mo say mo be mani paka kra bi akwa ko ye galamsey na
yedi mu nyina afra and that one is very important.
You must rise up.
Yeah.
It is your party that is in power. Maybe let's make our baboa. But one few people feel say almost support from party now say body party so that what buy on can say party ni papa difference. Party na to aba I don't know mama buy any for no appointment.
Yeah.
Ministers here. Wa ko si bi akofo. That be any for no form and it mom one yenye boa no. So be ye there will be a time or in the battery na ye be fi mara eba be mo na normal because me here what now am MPP from go for ye o ma wie sika ya mo tumi chesi o me o ma so that ko negotiation say between 2027 and 2028 I want to Ghana ye ko tua ya ka ye de the mo akese o nyan say wo
yeah
in the 2027 2028 na aben election Sata wo ban we want me nye major project
yeah na ho kira ba
na o de WhatsApp ko jina so buy o ka so be we want to dey one year o buy no ka so be ma a big push of say $10 billion me boa the first budget Georgia is almost $800 million now o calculate this every year be on one crack can one sa the third and the fourth year that you year Sata na ko tia ka kese to big push on to me nye ye dey be ko campaign
Matter me dance.
And to what you want to more started to give you national service here, one more by year, one year, now, my fast, yes, tax refund account or Mako Yesicano, Basta, what is it go?
Omoria Empire.
A billion.
Omoria Empire.
Obia, we dig Ghana Sikade. We want to assure them. Obia,
assure them, you are sure by a penny.
Issue, we share page 44 of the Sona 9. Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Rebecca, you know, it's Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ama Kofi Boy, and the other ministers are working very hard to make sure that Ebe end.
All right.
Because Obi who say, "Oh, you're a politician now, Kasa." Also, you say, "Oh, you're a politician." They are all kind of mean jindi.
Yeah.
Because you were crow way mo, yeah, you were crow way mo, and I be catch there and say, people of Cape Coast, we are building harbor and a port. Airport. Our Ghana. You were crow way mo, and I be catch there and say, there will be no haircut. A man for the Moesika, I to bank. Yabeka said there will be no haircut. And to say, now we are going to protect the public purse. And that a titi apansa asset. And to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a buyer. As I say, Niamana, okay, as time goes on, as I saw Yenina. Because the depths of distraction are Kenoforiata. Any Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, any Nanado Danko Kufado, Nipa Miensa way, the depth of distraction or Mudi Ghana for a common. Anyadi Kitua. It is more deeper than the depth of your friend is 58.1 million, your friend is cathedral. And as I say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, on making sure say Niama okika ye nyina obediso. Ama waye. Look at the betting tax. 10%. Say obi akoti ni bet awini. Who so are the same person what depriving of employment within the 8 years over 14.7% unemployment rate. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, "Sa betting tax no ifaso anyede eni so." Enti oyeden oye free hokra. Muti ya mosi nanka mo susu mbeye free so. The obeka ya na say, omu de omu anji betting tax kra. Na for time I introduce betting tax ebesi ene sa 288 your friend say million no. One age is a scam. Sasika no efa hin enti deputy finance minister no nim say sa sika no na buy no as a finance minister no oji ana. You see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say that electronic levy na ye dey atoso no. Look, yeah, and then me chia oka 300 Ghana cedis. Na o maami o te prase, say o send ne sika 200 Ghana cedis. Na do be yi ni die efri ho. Na sa sika na o di 100 Ghana cedis kotwa bet e wo phone no so a. O san so me yi ni efri so. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say these taxes no collapse businesses e wo Ghana. Because who got a phone 1,000 Ghana cedis. Your amount receipts now. On say taxes no contribute about 500 Ghana cedis. At then, we cannot point out one community hospital. His Excellency Nanado Danko Ekufado, any Dr. Marumu Bawumia, are operational. Meanwhile, Agenda 111, you have spent over 400 million. How do you go see Agenda 111? And so you see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Wabano, we na yembwa. Ayo mind and a CC. Budget we are can at the hope a brayer mamenum. Budget we are can at the hope a brayer nyanuma or more free SHS. I'm sorry, I'm saying free SHS, Excellency John Dramani be cancel. Say see an or Shamukina is improving it because that allocated fund of free to Kwana, the allocated fund will be there. Okay. What must say? Yen nyanuma. You can't say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you can't say, who dear, who call tertiary institution, public tertiary institution, either Legono, either UCCO, either TECO, who first year or allocated 499.8 million. So, first year, no, they are here now, we be call Legon, acquire medicine, acquire accounting, acquire molecular biology, acquire whatever course you want to do, and free. A government a paper say about building the nation. A government our hope our hope when you say or about building the nation. Or say or you see 499.8 your friends a million for musacha. Yeah. Abaya na Ghana ye way nyina nsatia ne nyede enyepe. What must say? You love you buy obubu afo sotua nia ni afra sotua nia oti ye friend say Kwame Nkrumah circle a osere sika sotua. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say disable uko school for your entire tertiary education there is an allocated fund for it for that. Now so mo dia mo ba ye no Mukate say you were protecting the public purse. UCG running debt. Running debt of about 68 billion. Yeah. IPPs running debt about $1.73 billion. IPPs energy, IPPC independent power friends producers. You see, the road fund, what can be here? Na the amudi kapi no crap sika no fa e wo hifa sa na ebu man look usche a car omudi all your friends say all the friends say international bodies mako jiska wo mudika she taxes are edibra Ghana for over 40 individual taxes ebi mu cry expire ama mu expand it 3% your friends say flat rate get fund dey 5% increase na ka be expire 2017 omo be increasing expanding okay lottery tax yes lottery tax e ba ye 2017 2020 within your first year first 4 years you see His Excellency John Dramani Mahama waka say all these allocations ni nyina ye womba within secondary schools, within even primary schools, muko school because of PAD. PAD in Jonko school.
Yeah, the tax is short.
Yeah, look, mo introduce PAD cry the tax, mo the tax to PAD so. Ama ye ho nia ye disa pad sika no tax na mo de two pad so no ye de ye ama ye wo mba e wo Ghana pad nti omo tumi go school the whole of their menstrual cycle. I say menstruation is a disease under MPP e wo man wi, but His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Aba o see e ba mbebnu bi a oyo ba a o go school ye betiche ta ye friend say part among free while ye allocation among say it is not going to end under his administration. Even after his administration, as I say, any allocation among, and also I 292.4 million among, saying fine and future tax no among. And easy, send a solo a kayano. Me, my election, I will need that. My election, I will see that. What must say? Me say, who see election? Is it who can cry my your friend is a declaration of the results? No, who could feel that? What must say? Uko fake or that? Me say that electoral defeat, no, it is still hurting the MPP. As I say, they should keep quiet because look, business communities now, omuchia those taxes, no, like ukasa na umo mubwe fumo. Ami anda toka me minti bet me bet. But Amianda Kokayan, people produce soft copies of better or kotra we di 10,000. Yateno. What must say? Then they're around 1,000 Ghana cedis. 1,000 Ghana cedis. I'll be monthly salary. What I say? I'll be monthly salary. And per the data, no, more than 288 million. Aden. Who's also be true? Aden. You see, Lucky Dube can say stealing in the name of God. So Lucky Dube say Bob Marley stealing in the name of God. And that is what from 2017, 2018, 2024. That is what your friend is saying. Kenofuriata under his administration. Oba now was share atade white. Now abebo Proverbs 17:17. Look, we know about Bible chapters. Na ni nyina ye kronu kwa. Mu share the debt mudi Ghana for ekom. Alright. NHI mudi yeden mu ka pay. Sika no mudi yeden. Get fund mu ka pay. Sika no mudi yeden. All those road fund mu ka pay. Sika no mudi yeden. And they thought say it was impossible for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to scrap the 10% betting tax. They thought say it was impossible for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to scrap the 1.8 year friends, 5 year friends, e-levy. Yeah. They thought say it was impossible for His